Hello, fellow 568ers. This is your classmate, Amy, and we've all been working on our fabulous final projects, and I have completed mine. And it's a rather lengthy annotated syllabus for a new class that I developed for my project, but I decided I would take you on a brief tour of what my project was about and where it came from. So I teach communication at Phoenix College, and one of the things I did is I went through the course list, so all the different classes that we have in our course bank, which there are quite a large number of them, and I was looking and scanning to see which one of our classes has any competencies related to technology and communication, and I didn't find any, so I was like, that's really a problem because technology plays a big role in how we are communicating today. So I decided that I would create a course, and the course is for now going to be called Communication and Technology. And I am following our curriculum process to do that. And I just brought up, for sake of interest, our Com 100 class so that you could see this is what it looks like in Maricopa. All courses have standard competencies so that regardless of what college you would take the class at, it would have a list of standards in terms of what are the objectives for that course. So that's kind of where I started at in the development of my class. And so what I did, is I developed a list of course competencies, and I'm going to have a link to this annotated syllabus so you'll be able to go through and read those competencies and be able to see a little bit about what this class is going to entail and how it's going to work. But just overall, how the class functions is that it works from the smallest unit of communication in my mind to the largest. And so looking at communication technologies relates to the individual. How do I represent myself online? How do I create my identity for who I am? And then moving out into relationships. So how do I begin, develop, maintain, and terminate relationships using technology and communication? And then moving out a step further into the group. And how do I function and work in groups? And last, how does culture impact how I experience the use of technology tools in communication? So at Phoenix College and at 9 of the Maricopa Community Colleges, we use a course tool called Canvas. So I'm going to go back and forth between the syllabus and in Canvas. This is the Canvas class that I designed to be used to teach this class. So like any good class is going to begin with the syllabus. When you click on the syllabus tool, it'll show some of the assignments, and generally it shows them in the order that they're due. But you can click on this link and it will take you to the syllabus that I was just showing you, so students can always see those course competencies and be able to understand the work and expectations for the course. What's really interesting for us is the idea that we can create modules for instruction. And as I mentioned, the class is built around the idea of technology in the individual, technology in relationships, technology in groups, and technology in culture. So for each one of these areas, each unit begins with the competencies that relate to that unit. So for example, in technology in the individual, there are a list of 5 competencies that students will be expected to master as a consequence of doing the reading and the projects in this unit. So they will learn about creating their sense of self and experiencing a sense of self, learning about self-disclosure, and they are going to use technology tools to create and edit online identities. And then they're going to be able to explain some of the benefits and challenges inherent in the tools that they would select. If you go forward, you can look in each area of the course. There are links to readings. I curated the content for this class looking through. Some of them are websites that have really good information. Some of them are peer-reviewed journal articles or book chapters, but all of the materials will be built into Canvas, and all of these materials are in the annotated syllabus as well. So if there's a topic that interests you, you'll be able to go and look at that annotated syllabus and click on the link and get access to that content. So for each unit, there are lessons, and then there are projects. So I'm going to jump back out to the module so you can see. and you'll look and see in this technology in the self, you can see these little things indicate that this is a content page. So these are links. This is a discussion board, this thing with the little speech blurb. And then with a piece of paper where it's supposed to be a little pencil next to it is some sort of an assessment, an assignment for students to do. So there are sets of readings and assignments for each one of the units, and of course there'll be class discussions. The class is going to be offered as a hybrid class because especially when we get down into the groups part of the class, the students are going to be expected to work and do a group project as a member of a virtual group. So the group will meet entirely online using computer media technology tools to do all of the communication and get their work done. In the last unit, I just want to bring up one of the assignments. The students do a culture project, and if we click on this culture project, you can see it's a 60-point project, and it's going to take you to the assignment. And in order to keep things a little more robust in terms of developing classes, because Canvas can be a little slow, I tend to link out to Google Docs for all of my larger projects. So if you click that link, it would open up this page. This is our intercultural communication project. So this kind of lays out the details of what the expectations are for the project. And the idea of this project is to get a sense of the culture that you've been assigned, looking at their technology access and use, the laws regarding use of technology, the level of education, the gross domestic product to try to get a measure about the amount of money that exists, religion, family structure. The idea behind this is to get a sense for how much does this culture have in common with American culture. And then the other part of the project is to look at the different cultural attributes, so individualistic versus collectivistic, high uncertainty avoidance, low uncertainty avoidance. And then the group is going to say how that culture uses technology to support communication and the goals of communication, and how these cultural attributes impact that technology use. So the students are going to do this project can be a mix of face-to-face or online, and they're supposed to keep notes about those experiences so they can write reflections. And this is the rubric for the presentation that students are going to do. And again, when you get into this annotated syllabus, you'll be able to see all of these materials. So I did put in a list of some recommended books. I found a nice book with about identity technologies, about constructing the self online, really wonderful book. It's a compilation. And then Alone Together, because I thought it was so great about a relationship. So I was really grateful to read that and be able to include it from the relationships section of the course. And then this idea about Here Comes Everybody is a book very popular right now, dealing with group communication as relates to technology. And then Culture and Technology. This actually is a book that gets used as a textbook, but I thought if students were looking for reference material outside of the course, they would be able to find some value in those textbooks, though they're not mandatory. You can see the grading details for the classes, and notice that there's a journal. So kind of like our autoethnography blog, I expect the students to do a journal. So this is kind of lays out the whole thing about the class, about the in-class discussions, written assignments, the projects, and the journal the students are going to be doing. And to make it easy for all of you so you don't have to scroll through all the college policies and that kind of stuff, I put a nice link here so it'll jump you right down into the annotated part of the course. And then this is kind of like the Canvas class. It breaks down here the competencies, but then you can see all of the lessons laid out, and the links to all of the readings. And then every place where you see the little speech bubble, it explains why has this material been selected? Why am I using this, and how is it going to help to address course outcomes? So I did this for each section of the course, all of the lessons and the activities, and you can go through and you could read all of those. I say I just pulled out the culture one because I'm very excited about students working on that. And so if you go through this annotated bibliography, you'll be able to see all that. Here's one of the rubrics for one of the assignments in the interpersonal section of the class. So this has been a really interesting project to do, and I'm looking forward to offering this class in the spring of 2018. Our fall schedule has already been created, so the soonest I'll be able to offer it is spring 18, but I think that it's something that our students can really benefit from and they'll be excited by, and I look forward to learning about the projects that you all have done.